There's two types. One is
Hey everybody, it's Miranda Sullivan in the Self-Love Tribe for eutaptics FasterEFT. I hope you're having a good Sunday. I want you to welcome my friend and she's one of my mentors, and she's also a colleague. She's Tammy Magnuson, and she's a certified eutaptics upper level FasterEFT practitioner, and she lives in Glenwood City, Wisconsin. We have 5 kiddos, and one of them is in the car with her, helping her out with this. You want to say hey to everybody, Tammy?
Hello, everyone. It's so awesome to meet you. I am driving, so I'll be paying attention to the road, but come to bring you value anyway.
Yeah. Okay, good. I'm so glad you got to join me today. So we are talking about upping our level with experiencing manifesting. I know for me, I used to try and manifest to make me happy. And I'm so grateful that I came across eutaptics FasterEFT, because I would manifest stuff that I did love, but then I'd manifest stuff that made me miserable. But now that I am healing myself, it's amazing what's coming in for me. So we wanted to go over some tips. So number one of the tips is just having that intention. Just the fact that you have the intention to move in the direction of where you want to go is incredibly powerful. To put energy into it, to think about it, dream about it, knowing it is what works best for me. And I know everybody kind of has their own way that they know they manifest things. So this just to give you some help, to help you maybe redefine it. And if you don't really know what you want, sit with it, try new things. I ended up volunteering for our children's choir at my church. I didn't have anything to do with the music. I did all the logistics, but I absolutely loved. I found out that I had been working in the corporate world. I absolutely knew that I loved working with the kids. I loved working with music. And when I came here to Nashville, I knew I wanted to have something to do with kids and music. I didn't know what that would look like. And sometimes I think it's better to not have it all figured out. And
not know the how. You don't need to know the how.
You don't need to know the how. No. So I ended up manifesting a job as a nanny for 10 years. I ended up learning how to be a lyricist, and I've written a couple children's picture books. And I could have not figured that out on my own. Is there something you want to share that's happened with you around that, Tammy, that you've done?
Yeah, it was funny because you were like, a sauna? I manifested a sauna. I live in Wisconsin and it gets really cold. And I was thinking, this winter it would be really nice to have a sauna or a whirlpool. And I didn't like the idea of a whirlpool as much just because of how much upkeep it takes to have it there. So anyways, yeah, my dad moved south and his sauna was sitting there, and I'm like, are you guys doing anything with that sauna? He's like, no, you want to take it? And I'm like, yes. So it's like a $6,000 infrared sauna that's sitting in my bedroom that I get to use whenever I want.
That is awesome. I love it.
That is awesome. So yeah, but manifesting is just like you said, it can go either way. Mm-hmm. But it's awesome when you can just be like, I want this, and be in line with deserving it, and then it shows up. You get it.
Right. Exactly. So another one is getting clear on it, because sometimes, we may be thinking about it, and like I had a friend recently, she's been learning about manifesting, and she was kind of all over the place. Well, maybe I should do this and maybe I should do that. And I've also seen people manifest things in their lives where they make it hard. They don't realize that they can ask for a job that is close to where they live. They could ask for a roommate that sleeps quietly. They could ask, they could get clear on it of what is it that you really would like that, what would you really like that to look at it? You can help define it. You can ask for that. Is there anything you want to add on that?
I am breaking up pretty bad. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Oh, good. Okay, so one way to really get down and figure this out, because sometimes people are like, well, I don't even know what I want, right? Just
Right.
like you were saying, like, how do you get specific about it, is to just ask, what don't you want, and then think about the opposite of that. So
Right.
that'll actually give you what to focus on, because for the brain, it's natural for us to be like, well, I don't want this, and I don't want that, and I don't want, like that's what the brain naturally does. So just use that to your benefit and find out what you don't want, and then go, what's the opposite? Oh yeah, that's really what I want. And then it will give you more specifics if you're struggling with like how to get specific about what it is.
Right. That's very, very true. I'm glad you brought that up, because that's something that I noted to talk about. So that's awesome. Yeah, because sometimes I know even myself, when I was learning about this, they were like, focus on what you want, focus on what you want. And it, really steered me away from focusing on what I didn't want. But it does. I mean, it's okay to sit down and make a list of everything that you don't want in your life. I know Tony Robbins was talking about that on a thing I was on a while ago, where when he was wanting to manifest a partner in his life, so he wrote down everything that he didn't want, and then he wrote down everything that he did want, and then that's what he focused on. Yeah, that's what he kept looking and focusing on. Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And our brain will naturally focus on what we don't want, but then it's hard to get specific. I think you were saying like he wanted a quiet roommate, like maybe he already knew that, but what he might have known is like, I don't want somebody that's messy or loud or this and that. Okay, well now, so what you do want is the quiet, clean, or, so that helps us just find out what it is.
Yeah, what it is that we want. Exactly. And I was excited because I learned how to do that, I think, pretty early on. I mean, I remember going through the trials and the tribulations of, not knowing that I could ask for that. And what I was manifesting, I may manifest, a job that I really wanted, but, it was an hour away and he had to do this and he had to do that, or, just several things like that. But and that is another thing that I love about eutaptics FasterEFT that I've really learned, is the brain is a muscle. And we have to practice. We have to retrain it. We do have to work on it, because I know, like, when I started, trying to meditate, I never got into it the way that I would like to have, because I didn't understand that the brain is a muscle. And it's not that you can't do it well. It's not that you can't do it well. It's you're actually working a muscle and you're having to help train it.
Right. Well, and it's the same thing. I've just been reading about this so much. Like, if you want peace in meditation, trying would be the opposite. So many of us sit in meditation, we try to be still and try to be quiet and try to shut off our brain and but that's the exact opposite of peace. So if we want peace, we actually have to be peaceful in order to build that muscle, not be trying something, because that is what would be the opposite of what we want to be doing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the opposite. And another thing too, which I wanted to talk a little bit more about, how eutaptics FasterEFT helps with manifesting. And of course, it's for the fact that we're working on the stuff that we don't want, the traumas, the heartaches, the things that keep coming up in our minds. We end up having these pictures, we end up having these videos, we end up getting triggered and going back to this place, and then we don't know how to get out of it, so we emotionally eat, or we, clean the house for 2 hours and get all our frustrations out, or all this other stuff. Yeah. And
that's a good way to do it.
And eutaptics FasterEFT teaches us how to go in those memories and tap in the moment, or work on those memories to actually tap it out to where it doesn't have any power over us anymore, to where we can let go of those pictures, we can rewrite those videos, we can rewrite those stories where it actually feels good. So you're getting down to the core issue of what it is that is bothering you, and you get to flip it and change it to actually something that feels good. And that in itself is going to help manifesting and what it is you're thinking, what you're focusing on. If you're more positive, if you're more negative. I have been I mean, I've always believed in positive thinking, but I'm in much more of a positive state now that I've been able to let go and rewrite a lot of that stuff. And it calms down the subconscious mind.
Right. Relaxes it.
It does. It does. It relaxes a lot. So let's talk about being in the present moment.
And you said something that's so right. And I think that we don't know we're not in the present moment even until we finally get to experience it without the past stories. And you said something so powerful that I found most important to manifesting anything is changing my past resources about it, because otherwise I believe that's all I get. So you might be thinking like, oh, I want this or I want that, but no, the next thought is, no, I shouldn't do that, or I couldn't have that, or I wouldn't, they wouldn't choose me, or they wouldn't, so our past story is kind of what regulates whether we believe we can have it or not. And so we won't even ask for something that we just believe is like beyond what we deserve.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I wanted to note really quick, if anybody's on the call, if anybody's on the live, go ahead and type in your name and where you're from. We'd love to know who you are and where you're from, where you're tuning in from. So yeah, it is. It's, and when you get to rewrite those stories to where you actually believe in yourself and, having those different feelings around your parents and the way that you felt loved, and it shifts your self-esteem. It shifts how you believe in yourself.
Right. It kind of opens up that, well, of course that could happen for me, instead of like, oh no, that would never happen for me. Like, we have these instant responses to things, and they come from a memory. So rewriting those and then practicing practicing with your imagination how you would want it to be can give you different results.
Hey, Wendy,
and help you be present.
Right, exactly. We have Wendy on. So, yeah, exactly. And that's one of the things is, because I used to try and visualize, for one thing, I don't know about you, but my subconscious, because from what I understand, about 80 to 90% of the day, our subconscious is running us. And another thing that I love about eutaptics, FasterEFT, is we can learn how to get control of the subconscious. So I was doing so many things and I had no idea. I mean, I would try and visualize, but the fact that I couldn't even sit with myself long enough to try and visualize, to take that time out for myself every day, I was running away from how I felt. And I didn't really understand that that's what was happening. But now that I've been able to do this work and calm down and rewrite what's going on in my subconscious, it's totally shifted for me. Have you found that?
It's an automatic. It's such an automatic shift, which is what you want,
Yes.
Because working hard, and like I said, that effort and that trying is just going to be defeating a manifesting of anything good, right? You want to manifest more effort, because if you're practicing effort and trying and, oh, this is such hard work to do this, then that's what it will be. But the brain is going to do the most effortless thing. So if buckling up is easy for you, you're going to do that and not think about it.
Right.
It's going to take more effort to not buckle up if you're used to buckling up. And so what the brain is just doing is giving you those the things that are effortless for you. If it's effortless for you to feel sad, then you're going to feel that more often.
Right.
Because it doesn't want to have to try to do something. So anything that you want to manifest, you need to do it with a peaceful mind, and not be trying, but be just being it, really.
Yeah, just being it, being present, knowing it's coming, being clear on what you want, taking some action. Yeah, it is.
Right.
It is. It's truly amazing, because it's like, because I know I have, so many people that I've watched, and, they're like, make it happen. And it's kind of like, well, you know. I would much, you know, and I know people sometimes they say about why is it so hard to try and be happy? Why is it so hard to do this? Why? And it is, it's because it's a muscle. It's because we're so used to, we've been programmed by the environment that we grew up in, the way that we thought. And it's a muscle. It's just like, you know, committing to go to the gym and, you know, and working that muscle, you know, to retrain it to where you are thinking about the things that you want instead of what you don't want. You're letting go and rewriting the stuff that you don't want. It does take effort to shift it. But once you put that effort in, then it's more in the flow. It's more in the flow. And it's like, because as you said, the more that you do that same thing to where you do it naturally, without even thinking, It's like driving, just like what you're doing now. That's why you can talk on the
yes,
because your subconscious knows how to do it and does it well.
Exactly.
The same thing goes for depression. The same thing goes for anxiety. You know, it's just what we get used to doing. And with eutaptics FasterEFT, we can go in and unravel that stuff that has taught us how to do that.
Exactly. And it is the memories that have so much power. If you are loved and playful and you get everything you want and need and ask for, and you know you're chosen on the team, and your parents are like, you pick the vacation, and you know they put you as important in their life so that you feel important now, and you rewrite that and imagine it that way and play with it. Now it's going to be your brain's effortless way of feeling, producing that effortlessly, because it's from the reality of your past,
from
the truth of what you believe about yourself. So now it's effortless to think that way.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one of the, I mean, I was a single mom at 15. So I grew up with really interesting, you know, and brought on, you know, some really interesting belief systems about how my life should be and all that other stuff. And I remember, you know, sitting there watching people, it's like, why do they seem to have such an effortless life? They just keep having this stuff come to them. And it's either one, they grew up in a pretty good family and they had, you know, or they worked really hard to shift themselves in the way that they think and to go for their dreams of what it is that they wanted to manifest in their life.
Right. Yes, being conscious of your subconscious.
Yeah, it's not the fact that they deserved anything better. It's just, you know, they had different experiences, and they you know, a lot of them, pretty much most of them, will tell you how much they had to change and how much they had to work in changing the way they perceived life and went about life and all of that.
Right. Yeah, and it's interesting because we are going to look at another person's, we're going to look at what we lack and find it in them and think their life is great or perfect or wonderful because of that one thing. But then once we get that one thing, we're on to looking for the other thing we don't have.
Right.
So I just said this week, I'm like, how come it's like, people are like, oh, I need this exercise equipment, I need it so bad, and then you get it, and then they never use it. It sits there, right, unused, because now they have it. It's become unimportant.
Right, exactly.
So that's kind of how it is for us, too. It's like we get to a certain thing, and we're like, oh, now I have that. That's no big deal. That's, you know, now I need this. Right. So that's, when we look at other people, we're looking at what they have, the best thing that they have that we don't have, and comparing our worst to their best, basically.
Right. And there is, and I'll answer your question in a minute, Wendy. I believe that too. So, yeah, because it's like, and the thing with eutaptics FasterEFT, when you go in and you heal and you rewrite your stories that you have in your head, your experiences, where you are happy, it's like you're not even that focused on that stuff anymore. I found that for myself. I'm just
Right.
enjoying life in the present moment. I don't have anything that I have to really go for. It's not like I don't have goals. It's not like I'm moving forward and things that I want to do, but I'm not trying to get there to make myself happy. That's
right.
Yeah, that's been huge. Okay, so
Yes.
so Wendy asked about, yeah, but how, as far as making things happen. Do you want to talk on that, Tammy, or do you want me to?
Yeah. So when you are in alignment with something, it happens easily. So I was talking to Miranda about this right before. I'm like, if my lips are dry every day, I need to drink water, right? That's just what I need to do. But what we do is take away the thing, the block, the reason that you're not drinking water. And now drinking water becomes easy, and now automatically your lips are no longer dry. Like that's the effortless shift is that, hold on one second. The effortless shift is that you actually are drinking water because now you're not blocked to not doing it. Same with like you want to do sit-ups, you want to have a flat abs, but you never do sit-ups, or you never, exercise, or eat too much or whatever. So what is it that's driving you to those things that's more powerful than stopping you from doing what you actually are saying that you want?
Right.
And that's what the subconscious is so powerful at driving us towards. So that's why we go and find the memories and find the reason why is it. Mm-hmm. So then the how becomes easy. So right. Now once I remove, like, I hate water, I don't drink water, I have to go to the bathroom, like whatever reason it is, once we remove the excuse from that, now you automatically can drink water. So that's the how is mm-hmm. in the fact that you took away the issue that's just stopping you from doing what your goal is.
Yeah, and it can be, a myriad of things, that's like me. I've wanted to work out for a long time, and I don't know how many. I mean, I've always been pretty active. I've been pretty good at going, like, when I wasn't working nights, I would go, and it wasn't COVID, I would go out and I would go dancing, or I would go and play volleyball, but I never could get into a regular workout routine, because I wanted to build a little bit of muscle. I wanted to make sure I was getting the aerobics. The aerobics has never been that big of a deal for me to get, because I do like to walk, I do like to hike, that kind of thing. But just getting on that normal routine. And it's like, I'm actually doing that all the time. It's like I've been just busy at work, and it's like I can't wait to go work out another time. I absolutely enjoy that, and that has never happened in my life. And it's because I've gotten rid of all that stuff that was causing those excuses. And mm-hmm. I honestly truly believe it has a lot to do with learning how to put myself first.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Learning how to put myself first. What I felt, what I needed, because I put everybody first. Everybody mm-hmm. first. That's what my mom did. That's what my mom was.
Lots of our moms.
Yes, lots of our moms. Yes, exactly. So if you're tuning in, if you're watching the replay, make sure you put #replay. And if you're on the video, just let us know who you are, where you're from. Because if you don't give StreamYard the ability to show us your profile, I can't see your name. So that's all that's for, because it's a different app than Facebook. So you just have to give it permission. And then letting go of expectations, and we've touched on that just a little bit. Do you want to go into that more, Tammy?
Sure. So letting go of expectations. Tell me a little bit more of what you're asking there.
The how
to manifest.
Yeah, the how it's going to come in, or
right. Yeah. So again, it's taking out why you believe it can't happen.
Right.
So because that's going to be more powerful. That's going to be the effortless thing. Is if it's always not happened, then what you don't know is the thing that's going to make it happen. What you don't know is the unknown, and your automatic reaction is to stay what it is safe, which means we don't know what's out there, but we know this. That's why people stay in abusive relationships. That's why people stay in broke mindsets. That's why people stay in jobs they hate, because they know it, even though it's way more uncomfortable than anything that they could let go of. And so what we need to find out are those memories that leave you to, that are driving you to get the results that you actually don't want. So the how is asking those questions, like, when's the first time I felt this feeling? What was going on? What else was happening at the time? Because that'll give you some clue into the actual memories that created this program in your subconscious mind that's making it effortless for you to do.
Right.
So when your brain has a program, it's effortless. So the programs that were installed when you were a child make it effortless for you to stay in that same pattern. What's difficult is stepping out of that. So now if you go back, change those memories, and now it's effortless for you to be loved, important, treasured, happy, loved, loving, all of those things. Now it's easier and easy for you to focus on what you want. And then focusing on what you want will drive you. And it can drive you because you're not blocking yourself
right.
with that limiting belief.
Right. And you're letting go of that emotional attachment, because it's like there's things that I put out there that, I think about it, I let it go. I think about it, I let it go. And I don't have an emotional attachment. But when it has to go, to do with money, or, maybe something to do with a guy, or, you have that emotional attachment, and to where you're like, it's kind of like that feeling of you needing that to happen for you to feel better, or whatever it is. And you can use eutaptics, FasterEFT to let go of that emotional attachment.
Right. And really, if you don't know how to do all of that, the most important thing you can do is just find your happiest memories and spend time there, because that'll be effortless for you. If you have 5 happy memories, and all you do all day is spend time being like, oh, I remember that was so wonderful. Like, what's going to happen is good things are going to be drawn to you because you're in a good state.
Exactly.
So if you want to know how to be happy without striving for it, use a happy memory, because your body will be like, oh, that's so true. And it will put you in that state, and that state is going to give you good results.
Right. Exactly. So our Facebook user says, I've heard 2 takeaways so far. Make a list, what you don't want, and shift those to what you do want, and being grateful, and practice use of with those things we already have, i.e. the exercise equipment, etc. And I think what Tammy is saying is be mindful of what the focus is.
Yes, that's really good. Yeah, and a couple of things that I picked up from this book, there's 2 books. One is the last law of attraction book you'll ever need to read, and one is the Power of Your Subconscious Mind. Power of Your Subconscious Mind, he's like, if you want to change something, whether it's I hate somebody, or I hate something, or it's something you don't want in your life, the next thing you need to do is just think about attributes of God. So like attributes of God being like loving, beautiful, kind. Like if you think about those things, things are going to change for you. The other book said, this was fun, because I was like, that makes so much sense. Along with Robert's teachings, it fits right in. Take 5 things from your past that you're grateful about, 5 things from your present, like right now. Like, I'm so glad my car works. I'm so glad there's a blacktop road. I'm so glad I know how to get there because I have directions being told to me. I'm so glad I get to speak with Miranda and all her friends. Like, so I take 5 presents, and then I take 5 future things, and then I intermix them. So I might take 1 past, 1 future, 1 present, 1 present, 1 future, 1 past, and intermix them as I'm just saying, like, I'm so grateful that I got to pet a whale. I'm so grateful that I'm a millionaire. I'm so grateful I'm talking with Miranda. Now I've mixed them up, and my brain is kind of confused. It's going, wait, are we in the present, past? But it's kind of taking the feeling from what you've experienced and adding charge to what hasn't happened yet. So it's a really cool technique.
That is a great technique. That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm so glad that you got to share that, because that is, because that was one of the things that we wanted to add to our list, is how to stay grateful, being in gratitude.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'd say use your happy memories, use those gratefuls in that way, and then the attributes of God. If you're feeling mad and you think about, oh, God is so loving, God provides the food I need and the air and the water, like all of a sudden your anger, you can't have both of those emotions at the same time. They just don't go together. So stay in that happy, good emotion, and whatever's blocking you from that, from being able to think of that things, that's the stuff that you let go of, and then get right back into that good manifesting state of, if you want to manifest good things, then you have to be in a state of feeling good and happy and generous and loving and kind, like all those good attributes. And if you're there, then that's what will happen. That's what will be attracted to you.
Right. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it is. It's because I listened to Abraham. It finally, I'd heard about Abraham when I went to Unity of Phoenix, and it didn't really come in my life till after I moved to Tennessee. And, and I did the best I could to try and do what she was talking about. But to me, eutaptics FasterEFT is the secret. It's the secret that everybody doesn't know about,
Oh my word. Yeah, I tried positive mental attitude for 25 years. And when it changed was when I figured out, like, oh my gosh, if my past is so different, now it's easy to believe this about myself. So it's the key to being able to do those things.
Yeah, exactly. And how long have you been doing eutaptics FasterEFT, Tammy? I don't remember.
So I learned about it in 2011, and I just did enough to get out of my deep depression. And then in 2017, I picked it back up again, and then I started training in 2018. So
in 2017?
Yep, that's when 2018 when I started.
Oh, unfortunately, you're kind of going wonky right now.
Am I breaking up?
Yeah. Maybe you're getting to not so good of an area. She's going to do some work. She's going to do a pony party. So, it looks like we have lost her. But anyhow, okay, there you are. So I was going to close things up.
So 2011, go ahead.
2011 is when you got back involved?
When I learned about it in 2018, I started level 1.
Okay, cool. And how much would you say your life has changed since then?
I don't even know how much has changed until to say.
Dang, you're still really wonky. Okay, sweetie, I'm gonna go ahead and close up the call.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. It went really well though. Up until now, it's went really, really good. You've come in clear, all that.
Good.
So anyhow, I hope this has been helpful. If you're wanting to up your game with manifesting and what you're bringing into your life, this is one of the best. Like I said, to me, it's the missing secret to what we need to work with the secret. So yeah, rewriting, re-imprinting our memories, finding out where our belief systems are, all that type of stuff. Wendy says thank you. Wendy said
thank you.
Yeah, we've had a few people.
Thank you, Miranda.
That's awesome. So anyhow, I think this went really well. I love what you bring to the table. You've been doing eutaptics FasterEFT a little bit longer than me. I've only been involved since 2019. So I know it's done incredible things in my life, and I'm just amazed at how, more in the presence of life and enjoying life I am. And oh, hey, Teo's here. Hey, Teo. And yeah, anyhow, so it's just been.
Oh, it's Tao. Hi,
Tao. Okay, I said it wrong. Yes, hello, Tao. So anyhow, so yeah, I think these were some great tips to go over. It's a good reminder of when we're doing the work, one of the reasons why we're doing it, and I truly believe that we're meant to have, loving, incredible, happy lives that we're not meant to keep living in what many of us used to live in. And right. I truly believe that, Robert's been worked through to bring this modality to help a lot of us. And I'm so grateful for him and all our other teachers. Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you so much for joining us. If you feel this video has benefited you, please share it. Please share it. We want to share this this secret that so many people don't seem to know about, how you can take it to a whole new level. Yeah, definitely how you can take it. If you're not manifesting, if you're not in the space that you don't, that you want to be in and experiencing life that you want to be, because you know in your heart that you were meant for something more. And I think that a lot of us get that calling. We know that we're meant for something more, and this can truly help. So thank you so much for joining me.
That's right.
Yeah, thank you so much for me. I love you very much.
Thanks, Miranda. I love you too.
All right, we'll talk to you
later.
later.
Love you all.
Okay, thanks everybody.
Bye-bye. Can you hang it up, honey? I don't know.